Okay, here's a little tip. If you're finding yourself, particularly as you go through the mastery challenge, just kind of mixing everything up, and this is, I'm noticing really pronounced if you're getting behind in your list. Like if if you're not just working on this week, but a couple of different weeks, you got a bunch of skills. It really all starts to jumble together, and so this is a tip I use with students to help kind of keep the skills differentiated. So you're really kind of focusing in on what different problems you have. They all start to blend together after once. Um, and to give you an example, right, like here's a quadratic function right here. A lot of students will just see that and they'll jump in and they'll start doing the first thing that comes to their mind to do. They're all like, I'm going to do something, and they just start jumping in. But realistically, if I give you this function, there's about like 5 to 10 different things I could ask you to do with it. And you really need to kind of key in on what the question's asking and where you want to go with this particular quadratic function. And so this little trick I'm going to give you hopefully will help you key in on that. So you see, I've been working through a mastery challenge. I've completed 5 problems. I'm here on my last problem. Okay, and so here's the tip. Okay, you get to the question. The first thing on your paper is you want to write down what you think the skill is. Okay, so just write down whatever it is. It doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be right, but you just need to start thinking, what skill is being asked of me here, and that will really start to get you differentiating the different types of questions, because they all start to blend together if you're not really paying attention to what the question asks of you. Okay, so this is just a little trick to do that. So I go in, I put down what I think the skill is, and then I do my work. Okay, and so I do my work on the problem. I put in my answer, right, and I check it. And here's the second part of it that's really important. So in addition to just guessing at what the skill is and putting down your work, the second really important part is once you get to the screen, right, where it shows the summary of your mastery challenge, it shows you all the different skills that you worked on in that mastery challenge. So I look down here at the last one that I did, the difference of squares, okay, and I want to go back to my paper, and I want to write that right here. This was the difference of squares, okay, and my idea about what this wasn't right, but it was close. I knew it would involve factoring, right? And it did have a GCF. I pulled out a GCF, but you'll get better as time. If you do this more and more, you'll get better at knowing what skill you're working on each of the mastery challenges. So I just did it for one, but what I recommend is that you do it for each of the questions and then check them one by one at the end until you kind of really got a sense of the different types of skills that you're being asked. It'll really help you separate and not get confused between problems. So that's just my quick tip to kind of reduce the amount of jumble going on in your head. I hope it helps. Let me know.